This is the first time the Packers are playing in the NFL's London series, but this will not be the first time the team is playing outside of the United States. They've played in Canada twice and one other time overseas. I talked to former Green Bay tight end Mark Chmura about his international experience playing in both Canada and Japan in the 1990s.
You know what the funny thing is, Lance? Did we win?
Yes.
I have no idea.
I think it was a Ryan Longwell field goal in overtime.
Yeah, because I think it was early in the preseason.
Correct.
Where the starters weren't playing a lot.
August 2nd or something like that.
But it was a fun trip. The flight was horrible. It was like an 18-hour trip.
And Mark Chmura has other funny but less than pleasant memories from his preseason trip to Japan in 1998.
The first thing we talk about as players when we get together and talk about Tokyo, and I don't know why they did it. It was a brand new hotel, but everyone remembers a 2-inch step to go in every bathroom, and every single guy in the middle of the night that had to go to the bathroom would stub their toe on the thing or trip.
The former Packers tight end says jet lag and recovery time is something to watch on this trip.
We had, I think, 5 days before the game, which kind of surprised me about the Packers on how late they're leaving. Now, the time difference between Tokyo and Green Bay is much bigger than Green Bay and London, but still, for them to leave on a Thursday, get there on a Friday, it took 2 or 3 days to get acclimated to the time change. So that's going to be interesting how they handle that. Yeah. That's one thing that surprised me on how late they left. But LaFleur must have saw some analytics or something that told him that was the best time.
And in soccer-crazed countries, Mason Crosby figures to be big, just like Ryan Longwell was in Tokyo.
He was a rock star. It's like the Beatles came to town. You know, they love the kicks.
He was bigger than Brad.
Yeah.
Bigger than Reggie. Bigger than
It's kind of funny.
But games like this show how the NFL game has grown exponentially.
And I still get fan mail. Every now and then I'll get fan mail from France, from Germany, from all over the country, and that just shows you how much this sport has grown.
Two things the Packers need to be wary of, according to Chmura: the atmosphere.
So it'll have kind of that, the game won't be as high-strung or whatever you want to call it, intense as the Super Bowl, but it'll have that same kind of feeling.
And this being a trap game.
We're all creatures of habit. We like playing in Lambeau. If we go to Minnesota, we've been there, we're familiar with it all. That's the tough thing, is you're going to see things that can be distracting throughout a game where it might take away a little bit of your focus. But you have to power through that, and you have to realize, though, even though this is in Europe and overseas and in London, this game still counts.
He's talking like a coach. Like Matt LaFleur's more concerned about, hey, we got to win this game, come back, you play against the Jets next week and get ready for that one. But I love the fact that the kickers are the rock stars. Yeah. We hinted at that earlier in the morning show, whatever. They love soccer internationally, and it's just one of those things that people gravitate to that.
Why do you think it's been so long since they've never been there? I mean, the Packers have never done this.
And I think Aaron Rodgers kind of hinted at it. The Packers didn't want to give up a home game because that's guaranteed revenue for Green Bay, tourism, all that stuff. And then road teams, and let's face facts, like Jacksonville, Mercedes Lewis, tight end for the Packers, was over there 4 times with Jacksonville. Why? Because they can't fill up their own stadium. But if the Packers come to town, that's a guaranteed sellout, and like 60-70% of the stadium is green and gold. Right. So you don't want to give that payday up as well. Yeah. So it was kind of always this tug of war, so to speak.
Different in the atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we've got
They're finally there.
We'll see what it's like today. I think it'll be raucous and rowdy.
Seems like a ton of green and gold over there.